Watch this if you want to know how to make $100,000 per year. Okay, so it's the year 2020, the recession is on its way, coronavirus is happening, and understandably, money is tight for a lot of people. Whenever there's an event like this, a black swan pandemic event just like this tests people's financial security in many, many ways. There's going to be reduced income, and there are lots of holes in people's budgets. And unfortunately, some people are hit harder than others. So in this video, I'm going to go over 4 things which, if you implement, will guarantee you a $100,000 per year income. The problem is that most people won't implement these things, and hence that's why most people do not have a 6-figure salary. So I really urge you guys to watch this video to the end, take notes, and make it a goal in 2020 to start doing these things. Now, don't implement all these at once. What I recommend doing is work on 1 or 2, prioritize those 2 things. Once you get comfortable with those, then move on to the others. It's gonna be a disaster if you try to implement all 4 of these things at the same time, because no human can possibly take on these 4 new habits, brand new habits, without crashing and burning. So don't do that. So there are 2 main ways to get rich, and I'm not talking about hitting the lottery, getting a trust fund, anything lucky like that. Although I am very, very jealous of those people. The first way is the more proven way. It's to do well in school, go to a good college, study something that pays well, like becoming a doctor or a lawyer or engineer, getting a job, working, and you'll eventually hit 6 figures. The second way is the more non-traditional way. And while it is proven, not too many people do it. This is the entrepreneurial route. You still potentially go to college, work hard, find a passion, start a business, and then work super hard to create a successful company. One way is not better than the other. Let me just make that clear. But one way is better for you. Guys, there's no cookie cutter way to become successful. You need to do what you want to do, and you need to do it right. So look at what you guys want in life, what makes you excited, and do that. For the people that love medicine, hospitals, and helping people out, please become a doctor or a nurse. For the people who like to work for themselves and build a specific product or a service, that's when you should become an entrepreneur. So really look at your interests, look at what you want to do for the rest of your life. I know lots of you guys out there are pretty young, so you still have a lot of time to figure out what you want to do in life, but don't procrastinate. Start thinking about your ideal future life and then start working to get that life. If there's one thing I want to say, it's like, do it for you. Don't do it for other people. Don't just go with the flow because it's normal. Don't go to college because it's normal. Don't become a doctor because it's normal for your family. If there's something else that you want to do, if you don't think you can go down a certain path that you are currently on, then switch the path. And the same thing goes for entrepreneurship. I mean, entrepreneurship is like getting pretty cool these days. You know, you see these Instagram influencers all showing off the entrepreneur lifestyle. It seems really nice, right? All these fancy cars, but let me just tell you guys, that's how they paint their lives. It's not all just like that. There's a lot of work that goes into becoming an entrepreneur, a lot of risk, and a lot of lifestyle change. And it's not the right lifestyle or the interest that you want to do, then don't do it. Don't become an entrepreneur because it's cool. Okay, so the first thing to implement is a morning routine. I'm not talking like a normal wake up, brush your teeth, make breakfast routine. I'm talking about a crazy efficient routine like Richard Yu's morning routine. If you haven't heard of Richard Yu, he's one of my good friends, and he is the master, the king of morning routines. He wakes up very early and has a very consistent schedule. He really stresses that his morning routine is what allows him to become super productive in the mornings and get a lot of work done. So make sure to check out his channel if you haven't already. The reason why you need to have a morning routine is because it creates a schedule. Morning time is the most important time of your day because it's the only time when you can't pick up your phone and call a friend or text a friend since everyone is still sleeping. 1 hour of early morning work is the same as working for 2 to 3 hours in the afternoon. So for my own morning routine, I like to wake up around 5:30 or 6 a.m., brush my teeth, drink a large glass of water because that really helps wake you up. And then I get into my morning routine, which is meditating for a few minutes and then writing down my affirmations, my goals for the day, and also my visualizations for the upcoming day. Then I'll read for about 20 minutes and then start my day. On about half the days, I like to work out in the morning, so I'll hit the gym, come back home, and take a warm shower with a cold shower at the end. So like, what does this do for your day? Well, it starts your day at 100 miles per hour. And what that does is it allows you to have momentum for the rest of your day. If you start your mornings like that, you're much more likely to be productive for the rest of the day than to not be. It also gives you an excuse to be up early and to get work done. And trust me, after you get your morning work done and finish up with your morning routine, it feels so good. When you've accomplished more than most people have their entire day, by like 11 a.m., that's speaking volumes to the productivity that you're having, the hustle you're putting in, and your future success. So you guys, make a morning routine and stick to it. I guarantee you that in about 2 weeks of doing your morning routine, you're gonna see results that you haven't seen before. Check out the book, The Miracle Morning. It's one of my favorite books and it really changed my life. Reading that book was probably one of the most impactful things I've ever done in my life. I'll put a link to that book in the description below. Okay, number 2 is always be learning. Now for sales, they always say ABC, always be closing. Well, for an entrepreneur, you wanna always be learning, ABL. This is super important. And what I mean by this is you need to be consuming knowledge each and every day. Your goal for the day is to become 1% better in your own knowledge or your own business or anything you want. If you get 1% better each day, think about how much better you're gonna be after 1 year. So it's a really good mindset to go into the day with. You're like, what can I do today that's gonna make me 1% better? And when I go to sleep tonight, I'm gonna have 1% more knowledge or skill than I did in the morning. Now, the easiest way to do this is to just read more. And this kind of ties into the morning routine because I always set aside about 20 minutes to read. So make sure you have a portion of your morning routine dedicated to reading. If in those 20 minutes, let's say you're able to read 10 pages, take notes, write notes, because that's gonna really make it go into your head better. And also, don't rush reading books. The goal isn't to get through as many books as possible, it's to retain the most amount of information per book and to be able to actually implement it and recall that information. Now, if you're skimming through books, you might learn some of the information, but it's gonna be really hard for you to actually implement because you can't think of it on the spot. I also recommend that people reread books. There's no way you're gonna be able to soak in all the information in a book just by reading it one time. So if it's a very impactful book for you, read it one more time and you're gonna get double the impact. Plus, you already have the book, so no need to buy another book, right? And it doesn't have to stop with books. You can be learning throughout the day. You can watch YouTube, you can listen to podcasts when you drive. That's one thing where I tell people, if you're driving a lot and you're just listening to music right now, that's a lot of wasted time. Like, sure, listen to music if you need to de-stress, and it's okay to listen to music every once in a while. But there are so many educational podcasts and so many motivational podcasts out there that can really change your life. And in addition to that, there's YouTube, there's blogs, there's courses. There's a wealth of information available both paid and free across the internet. So if you want to find it, you can definitely find it. One pro tip that's really helped me out is try and learn really specialized skills. This is really important. Skills that are specialized that fewer people can do pay a lot more than skills that are more general. Let's look at a grocery bagger, for example. A grocery bagger will make like $10 per hour, and that's because their skill is replaceable by many, many people. I'm not saying that to discount their work or their skill, but what I am trying to say is if the job can be done by many, many people, that's gonna drive the price of the pay down. So if you want to have a higher income, you need to find a high income skill, a skill that not too many people know. That's just the economics of it. It's a simple supply and demand thing. Okay, number 3 is to take action. And inaction is the reason why most people fail. People are so good at preparation, but they are terrible at actually executing it. That's why, for me, my motto is to learn as you're doing it. You can listen for hours and hours about how to start an e-commerce brand, or how to start real estate investing, or how to start making a course. But if you actually just go ahead and do it, I guarantee you'll get results faster and you'll learn faster. So basically, that's how I've structured most of my businesses. I've done the initial preparation. I mean, I'm not saying you need to forego the preparation, because you definitely need to know what you're getting yourself into, and you need to have a good foundation to start. But you don't need to know 100% of everything in order for you to start. You don't need to have the best logo or the best website or the best content. You just need to have something so that you can start. I always tell entrepreneurs entrepreneurs, the best way to become an entrepreneur is to actually become an entrepreneur, and that is to start your own business. The best education for you is to actually do it. Stop spending hours and hours preparing and never doing it. That's what happens to most people, and that's why lots of people don't get to the levels that they want to get to. Now, what about the people that don't want to become entrepreneurs? People that are working normal jobs? Well, if you want to get paid more, if you want to become in that six-figure territory, you're going to need to take action too. You need to take action to make yourself promoted. You need to look for opportunities every single day. You need to make more and more connections with people. And that way, your chances of earning six figures goes up exponentially. Did you know that the easiest way for most people to get huge pay increases is to actually move jobs? People don't get new jobs by just sitting on their butts all day and doing their work like normal. They're out there taking risks, meeting new people, finding new connections, and those people are going to have the biggest chance of getting those big pay increases and reaching that six-figure level. Number 4 is to take risks, because the more risks you take, the luckier you're gonna be. Now, this is a point that can be a little bit controversial because I'm always met with this resistance. People say, what if you don't have the resources to take that many risks? If you don't have enough money, or you're just in a situation where you need to have a stable job. In those cases, only you know what's best. Write it out and start saving money so that in the future you can take risks. And guys, taking risks, you can start businesses that cost you little to no money to start. I always recommend younger people to start by doing a service-based business. This is a business where you're actually trading your own time for money. It can be something like photography, tutoring, consulting. The reason why I recommend starting a job like this is because it doesn't cost any money to start and there's very, very little risk. The only thing that you're risking is losing some of your time. So let's say you graduate college and you're making $50,000 or $60,000 starting salary. What do you think is the fastest way to get to $100,000 at that same company? Is it to just stay there and get small raises each and every year? I don't think so. And like I said before, probably the fastest way to get that pay increase is to either get promoted or to get an entirely new job at some other company. Also, you don't need to be making your full income just at your day job. You can also have a side hustle. You're working 8 hours per day at your normal job, but you still have 16 hours per day at home, right? Let's reserve 10 hours per day for sleep and eating and just relaxation. That still leaves you with 6 hours. 6 hours where you can be working to create another source of income. Even if you're becoming a doctor, you still need to take a lot of risk. You're risking spending like 8 years doing something that you might not want to do in the future. It's also risky because what if you fail a test? What if you need to take a pause in your education or you run out of tuition money? Anything that's high award is also probably going to be high risk. I encourage people to take risks because if it's just left up to them, they probably won't do it. And I totally get it. Like, why try for these new things if things are already going well? You know, like nothing bad will happen if you don't take those risks. You're still at a pretty comfortable spot, but that is one of the most dangerous things. I take a lot of risks and I am rewarded for it. That's just how it's been my whole life. I've failed lots and lots of projects. I've lost lots of money, and I've built so many like brands that have not made a single penny. But the things that end up working are a result of me just trying to push forward and finding new things. It's a result of me trying and trying and trying. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video useful. My call to action for you guys is, well, first to like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. And second, try and implement one of these things in your life. Like I said before, try these 1 or 2 at a time. Don't try to do them all at one time. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think on this list, the best one to start first is the morning routine because it's a very like concrete thing. It's either you have a morning routine and you do it or you don't. So make up a morning routine, try doing it for at least a week or 2 and let me know how it is. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.